Hello everyone, my name's Onion Rings, and I don't know how many people will see this video. I'm hoping a decent amount of people will see it. I kind of wanted to just show off my Raid Shadow Legends progress and see what people's opinions are, if there are any areas that I can improve in, stuff like that. I applied for a Boozer takeover, but I'm gonna be honest, since he only does one free one a month, and my account isn't by any means super interesting, and what I mean by that is like I'm not like a super spender. I spend maybe 50 to 100 a month, and I've spent a total of I think almost 1800 in the 2 years that I've been playing, and I just don't think that there's anything super interesting about my account. And a lot of you are probably seeing, oh my geez, $1,800. Well, Raid players may not be. Other people, like if you're watching me, if you don't play Raid, if you're just watching because you're subbed to the channel and you happen to get this notification or whatever, trust me, $1,800 is nothing compared to this stuff some people spend in this game. Some people spend thousands per month. Not me. I'm a little bit more frugal. I will buy things like the Forge Pass. I bought the gold version. I'm not buying the platinum because it's ridiculously overpriced and not worth it. I will buy sometimes energy packs if I need them, sometimes chicken packs if I need them, sometimes books if I need them. I buy the daily gem pack. Where is that even at? I don't know. Daily progression. I buy the daily gem pack every single month. It's the best value in this game. $10. You get like 2160 gems, I think. Very worth it. Excuse me. I don't buy shards anymore. I used to before I had an Ultra Nightmare team, because I was like, you know, seeking really good champions that could make Ultra Nightmare possible. But now that I can do it without now I can basically one key it, it's no problem. I don't need to buy shards. I don't need any champions. I could always just use more better champions. So let's go over my roster first, show you guys what I'm working with. I have some decent legendaries. I've gotten some really good pulls, and then there's just still people that I am like dying to get. But you know, with Raid being all about RNG, you just may never get those champions. And with me not buying shards, it slows my progress on how often I can get champions. But I think that my roster for level 83 is very solid. So let's divide it by rarity just to make it a little bit easier. I only have 2 mythicals. I had Mikage that I fused, and I got Embrace. They're both really good for free champions. Mikage, I absolutely love her. I do have Ninja. When they brought him back around, I was playing, luckily, and I was able to get him. So she empowers him really good. This is her build. I've got her quite tanky, as fast as I can without sacrificing the tankiness. Got her with some accuracy. I use her in a wide variety of places. I used her in arena sometimes. Not as much as I used to, though. I used to use her to strip because of her Form 2 A3. I could strip with it, but I don't use her for that anymore. She's mostly PvE. I got her in Relentless, 4-piece Relentless, to get those cooldowns back. Embrace is not in the best set currently. Don't laugh at my Embrace. His crit damage is pathetic, but he still hits pretty hard. I'm currently using him as a nuker. I was using him as a stone skin stripper, but I decided to use him as a nuker. So I'm trying to get that accuracy lower. He does have 1 piece of Feral on, actually 2 pieces, but the 1 piece gives him, let me go back to this version. The 1 piece gives him 40 accuracy, so I'm trying to get to the point where I can get rid of that. I think the next time I re-gear my account, I'm going to exclude Feral as an option for him in the gear set thing. Like I use the optimizer and I'll just exclude Feral. But in the meantime, yeah, he's got a little bit of accuracy that makes it to where sometimes his Form 2 A2 doesn't, always do the 50% ignore. But he is also in 6-piece Slayer. The optimizer found that 6-piece Slayer would be best for him. So his A1 in the Form 1 will ignore, and his Form 2 A2 will ignore, and that's where you really want the ignore, because if this comes into effect with the Slayer, that's 80% ignore. I don't know if ignore is actually additive or multiplicative, but it's still good. And then not to mention, I also have him... Oh, no, I did not do his masteries, but when I do his masteries, I'm probably going to give him Helm Smasher for even more ignore. But yeah, I got to get his masteries done. Moving on to legendaries, I've got quite a few of them. Some are great, some are not. Yukarl, not currently using him. He was my arena nuker for a long time, but I switched to Genbo. Genbo has higher multipliers, so his big crits were reaching higher numbers than Yukarl's. I did like a whole test of it, and Genbo was just ending up being better for me. But Yukarl's not bad, don't get me wrong. Ninja, I currently have him in Savage for the ignore, 6k attack, 227 speed. He needs more crit damage, yes I know. Laugh at me all you want, this is the best I can do because with my account, most of the time my nukers are in crit rate gloves instead of crit damage gloves. I hate it, but I'm working on it. Gear comes slowly. I buy every Forge Pass. I'm grinding Curse City and all of that, but it takes time. But he still smacks pretty hard. Rathalos, I didn't actually even put him in the ignore. I know you don't really need it for the A2 when you're attacking a boss, but the optimizer put him in it. I just set him for damage mode, and the optimizer did it itself. But Rathalos is a solid champion. He was one of my first ever legendary, because I started playing during the Rathalos chase about 2 years ago, right before the, what was it, the 5th anniversary, where we got Armons. Well, I didn't get Armons because I was too new and I couldn't do the fusion, but that's when I started playing, and he was basically my first legendary, and he was a rock for me for the longest time. I still use him on occasion, but not as much as I used to do. Mikey's in terrible gear because I just got him, as all did you, but I have not re-geared my account yet. So I threw him just basically whatever I could get him, and it's just random mishmash of stuff. It's not a terrible build. Like, this is still okay. He can do some stuff, but he's gonna be better later, don't worry about him. Bivald, I have him on my re-gear list. So basically, how I do my account, I have a re-gear list, and I basically re-gear like 20 of my best champions, and then everybody else gets leftovers. Bivald is in the top 20, but I am considering removing him. He was in there because I was using him for Provoke in Hydra. However, for my Nightmare team, I'm no longer using Provoke. I'm just brute forcing it by absolutely nuking the Cleanse Head and then just moving on. And that's been working better for me. My personal best in Hydra is 206 million. We'll get there. So I don't use Provoke anymore. For Brutal, if I do need Provoke, I prefer Molly over Bivald. So he's probably going to get removed from my re-gear list, or just move significantly down anyway. But he's not a bad champion at all. And he's good if you have him and you need a good Provoke for Hydra, because he can provoke on weak hits. So it can provoke through the Poison Cloud and negative affinity. Alice is actually low-key an amazing champion. I use her for a lot of burst. I'll use her in wave clearing because her A2 is great, and I think if she increases the cooldown of anybody, yeah, no, it makes her passive, I think. Yeah. basically, if she kills someone, she can just reset her skill. So if I use her in wave clear, she'll sometimes go in with this A2 and kill someone, and then this procs, and it'll reset her A2, and then she can use it again on the next wave. So I sometimes use her in Doom Tower. She's not very good in hard Doom Tower, though. She gets kind of creamed on, but she's decent. I'll use her in, like, dungeon, wave clearing, stuff like that. I have probably better wave clearing options, but she's really not bad. I like to keep her in some gear, because you never know when you might need her, and also she's good for Sacred Orders. So, yeah, I got her in just like a typical nuker. No slower than 200, but you don't need a ton of speed for your nukers, depending on where your account is. There are some people out there that have their nukers at 300, and they still have the attack and crit damage that you need. Me, if I want close to 6k attack and like 300 crit damage, I can't also have a bunch of speed. So, I choose to make my nukers just a little bit slower, and hope that my supports can bring them up. Fabian has been an absolute rock to my account. I am so glad that I fused him. He's not in the best build, but he's fast and accurate. I use him in the arena as my lockout. Of course, if you hate Fabian, then you're probably in the comment section right now. Oh my god, ew, you use Fabian? Ugh. Yes, I know. Fabian's toxic, but there are ways to counter him, and I do not win every single battle. So, there's that. But he's a rock. I use him in Doom Tower climbing as well. He locks out basically everyone. The only time I lose in Doom Tower is occasionally to the Mordus. If they don't get locked out correctly, they'll do that stupid secret skill when they'll just nuke one of my people. Sometimes I have to bring in someone with like block active skills to counter that, but Fabian for the most part handles it. Loki's alright. He's in gear because I do have some uses for him. I put him in Faction Wars. Sometimes, if I need him in Twins, I'll use him as a Brimstone placer. Whatever. He's not super amazing, but I did put him on the re-gear list because he's, you know, he's a solid champion. He's really not terrible, and I kind of like him. He was really good for me when he first came out because he was one of the only legendaries I had. And as a Brimstone placer, 5 stars. Mwah, chef's kiss. Mithrala, you guys know Mithrala is one of the best champions in the game, so of course I have Mithrala. She is in the top 10. I've got her fast, I've got her accurate. Probably wouldn't hurt to have even more accuracy, but I don't think she has an accuracy banner. No. My fastest banner didn't have accuracy on it. Yeah, I don't have a ton of good banners for Dark Elves. I don't think I have any accuracy ones at all, no. And I've already, like, reworked every single one of these. I've reworked maybe 50 banners in my lifetime playing Raid. Not a single one has come out accuracy. I don't know if I'm just that unlucky, or if you cannot rework to accuracy. I don't know. But never have I once reworked a banner to accuracy. It's never happened. So, she's not an accuracy banner, but, you know, she's still great where she is. I don't use her in Arena, so she doesn't really need too much more accuracy. For PvE, like the upper echelon of PvE, like endgame, she could probably use a little bit more, but she's fine. She's still great. Mainly she's used in Hydra or anywhere that I just basically need some really good buffs. Sill's not currently in gear, but I don't mind using her on occasion. Cardiel was my first ever Void Legendary pull. He's rated 5 stars by Hell Hades, and he's actually kind of nuts, but I'll be honest, I don't use him as much as I should. That's why he's not as fast as he should be, because I use Elva more. She's the next one. What he does is great, but I just feel like Elva's more useful to me most of the time. I mean, Cardio is Void, but just what I get from him, I get basically more of from Elva, at least in my opinion and where my account is. She heals more, she has increased speed, she does have a cleanse with a block debuff, he does his too, but I don't know, I just feel like I get more out of Elva. 3-turn cleanse, block debuff, increased speed is huge, her heals are insane. I mean, she's just great. She's got the revive. He doesn't have a manual revive, which kind of brings him down a little. It's a revive on death. And since it's only 3 turns, you could technically have this up 100% if you maybe ran him with a cooldown resetter. I don't currently have any, but I do have Donnie, Donnie's fragments done. And the two of them might go well together because Donnie's a great support, and then he could reset the cooldown of this and, you know, keep this up 100%. And his heal is pretty solid, but Elva does heal more. And then, you know, I do like his ally attack, but I'm going to be honest with you, when I need an ally attack, I prefer Mikage. In my opinion, Mikage's is just better because it has increased attack. I don't usually need increased crit rate because the thing is, there's only one champion that I don't have 100% crit rate on, well, as a nuker, and that's Genbo, because he buffs his own crit rate. Any other nuker, I'm running at 100 crit rate just because I don't like to rely on these kind of skills to bring up my crit rate, because what if this champion dies? What if this is not ready to go when I need it to go? I mean, it's on a 4-turn cooldown. It can be decreased if somebody dies from it, but what if it's not ready to go when I need my nuker to go? Then they only have 70% crit rate, and they may not crit. That's no good. So I prefer my ally attacks to be like Mikage's, where they have increased crit damage and increased attack. Not that he's bad, but I don't get as much out of Cardiel as I should. When I first pulled him, I did, but then I got Elva, and she's just been like so much better. I do have Sissio, so I've been trying to use them together for like brutal Hydra, but it's not working out too well because Sissio's just so squishy. But look, don't get me wrong, he's an amazing champion. I do still use him here and there. That's why he has gear on, but it's not the best gear because I'm not using him as much as I should. Elva is like in my top 5. Elva is just insane. I try to get her as tanky as I can, as fast as I can. I used to be able to get her over 300, but that required 2-piece pinpoint, which I can no longer do because I have to have her... Oh, I thought I had her in a crit damage. I used to have her in a crit damage amulet because I used her in Chimera and she kept getting targeted, but I think with this... With the last regear that I did on my account, I ended up putting her in 6-piece protection. I don't have currently enough stuff to do 9 pieces, you can see, but with every week my clan gets better and better and better with Hydra. We're getting more pieces, like here's the 7th piece, and then I would just need a banner, so I'm getting there, I'm getting better. Eventually I'm going to put her in 9-piece because even though she only does... Well, she does 3 buffs, and they say generally if you do 3 buffs, then you should put someone in protection. At least I think that's what Ash was saying. But actually, technically, she does 4, because she's got Cont Heal, Block Debuff, Increased Speed, and then she even Perfect Bails. So, technically 4 buffs. So yeah, she's perfect opportunity to be using protection. That's why I've got her in 6-piece. But I just try to get her as fast as I can while also making her somewhat tanky. I aim for 3,500 minimum defense, 60k minimum health. Keep them tanky. Molly, like I said, I use in Hydra sometimes if I need a provoke. She's fast, she's tanky, she's accurate, she's great. You know, provoke. Chance to double it. Got a revive in there. 3 meter boost when she gets hit. She doesn't do like any damage though, even with War Master. She's absolutely terrible at damage. Lammasu has been a staple. I just got her like a month ago. She's been a staple to my account. She increased the personal bests of both my Hydra and Chimera teams because she's one of my only good decreased speeds that I currently have. And she's just amazing. I love her, especially her reset, because I can use this on like Ninja or Newt and just make them get back to their burst quicker. And it's just been so good. She's been amazing. I've got her in as fast as I can tanky gear, just kind of like basically like Elva, but also with accuracy because you need accuracy. I could probably make her faster and use her in Arena. That's what a lot of people recommend, that you put her in Arena because she's got one of the best space speeds and she's got a very strong aura and that boost. But I currently can't make her that fast. One of my fastest champions is Arbiter, and it's only at 357, and that's as fast as I can get. So I can't really do too much with Lammasu currently, but I also prefer to use her more in PvE. So if I dump speed into her, then I might lose accuracy and, you know, tanky stats. I don't want to do that because she's really, really good in PvE. Vizix doesn't have gear on, but I sometimes use her in Faction Wars. Lydia does have gear. I've got her fast because I'm using her in my arena team. Basically, my current arena team is Arbiter, Fabian, Lydia, Genbo, in that order. It's been working wonders for me. Obviously, Arbiter boosts and increase attacks. Fabian locks out. Lydia, as long as they don't have Stone Skin left after Fabian goes, then she'll put in some debuffs. And then Genbo just cleans them up. If they do have Stone Skin that I didn't get to remove, then this is a little bit less useful. But this has saved me from Siegfried, Marichka, Wukong's. I love her passive blocking that revive. Arbiter is by far my fastest champion. She's not booked because you don't really need it, because you only really use her once. If you're at the point where you're using her more than once, then it means you didn't one-shot the enemy team, and she's probably dead. But she's my fastest at 357. Artak is my excuse me, Ice Golem, and sometimes Hydra. I have him medium pack speed. I do put 100 crit rate on him. Some people don't like it, but the reason I do it, he's also my campaign farmer when I need to farm campaign. So I like him to have 100 crit rate, so that way he one-shots the waves. The only wave he doesn't one-shot is the third one, because he opens with his A3, then second wave he uses his A2, and then the third wave he has to do his A1 first before his A3 comes back. But it's still like 6 or 7 second runs, which is like really fast. And I don't really have any other champions that can do that, other than maybe like Supreme Kale with a triple AoE, maybe Biggin, but Biggin isn't 60. You know, there's probably some other people that could do it, but I just have the most consistency with Artak. But also, I might as well keep him in gear because he's good for Ice Golem. If I need to farm Ice Golem, and he's okay for Hydra. He's a decent Hydra burner. Prockmar's not in gear. I don't use him. I know that he can be good for Hydra because I saw somewhere on the internet that he could be decent for Hydra, but I just have better options. Between Ninja, Newt, Artak, haven't needed Crockmar. I'm sure he's a great champion. I use him in Faction Wars, that's about it. He currently doesn't have gear on. Newt is my bread and butter. I love this guy. I just got him like a month ago from the prison pool. The 2% chance I got it on my third pull. I did the free pull, and I got some legendary or some epic garbage, and then I gave into the temptation. I spent 20 bucks, got 2 more pulls. First one was another epic garbage. Then I see the gold light up, and I'm like, ooh, 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 who's it gonna be? Because the pool was good. Like, even if it wasn't Newt that came out, someone else in that pool was good. I think it was like Freya, Wixwell. There were some like really good ones in there, and basically anybody from that pool could have helped my account. But freaking Newt of all people popped out, and I was like, no way. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I was dancing up and down like a little giddy schoolgirl. Like, I'm a 28-year-old man, and I was dancing up and down, excited. Newt is amazing. I love him. I've got him around 250 speed because we want him somewhat fast because his heavy hitter is on a 4-turn cooldown. So you want him to have a little bit of speed so that you can get back to that. Defense, because he's a defense-based nuker. Crit damage, I'd love it to be closer to 300, but it's okay for what it is for now. And obviously I don't have 4-star soul for him yet, so that would give me an extra like 38 when I get that soul. And accuracy to land his debuffs. He's not in the best build, but he's solid, and I do have him in 4-piece Relentless, so that does reset him pretty often and get him closer to using this again. But also, once I get Donnie, I'm going to run Donnie and Hydra, and that's going to give me a lot more A3s from Newt, because Donnie has that 2-turn cooldown reset, and that's going to be huge. But yeah, Newt is fantastic. I'm so happy I pulled this guy, dude. Oh, I can't even. I just can't even explain to you how amazing it is to have him. I never, ever thought that I'd pull Newt. Cupid's in gear for Faction Wars, and I think Cursed City rotations, he's in very basic, crappy gear. He was my first ever legendary outside of Rathalos. Not gonna lie. I completed the Brutal campaign, and from that very Sacred Shard, my first ever Sacred Shard from Brutal campaign, I pulled Cupid. I was very excited. Y'all can ask my brother-in-law. I don't know if he'll watch this video or not, but y'all can ask him. I loved it. I was so happy, and I used him pretty much as I did Rathalos for the longest time. But then once I got Artak, I didn't really have much of a use for him. I don't have Venus, but if I ever do get Venus, I'll try them together, because I know that they can do really good in Hydra. Not as good as, like, Crocat and Packmaster, but they can still do some work. Lysandra currently has gear on, but I'm thinking about ungearing her. She's my second fastest character, because I was trying to utilize her in Siege. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think I'm having better luck with Lydia. Let me see if I can find y'all this picture. Yes, here. Open link. No, that's copy. I need to open it. Look at this. This was the last siege that we just did. I defended against 6 teams in my stronghold, because I guess they saw how low my power was and completely underestimated me, and I beat 6 different teams. It took them to use Shamil to beat me, to counter my Fabian, and that was hilarious to me, that I did that good, and that's just better. I don't know if I had Lysandra in that team, if it would have done as good. I mean, we would have maybe outsped more teams, but Lydia, like I said, she counters Marichkas, and anybody else basically that's self-reviving or just whatever. It's just amazing. I love Lydia, but I don't know if I'm gonna use Lysandra anymore. I throw her in some PvE here and there as a little booster, but I just don't think that she's worth some of my best speed gear, personally. Supreme Kael doesn't currently have gear, but I use him in Faction Wars on occasion, and Cursed City rotations. He's not bad. I pulled him not too long ago from a progressive event, actually. I wasn't even thinking I was going to get a legendary. I just was fooling around popping shards for something. I can't remember. And I saw the gold pop up, and since he was selected, I just got lucky, and he came out as the champion. I wouldn't even necessarily say lucky. I don't know. I don't think I even fully looked into his kit when I selected him. I just saw him, and I was like, oh, Supreme Kael might be cool. Because I never even expect the progressives to land. I never expect to actually get them, and then I do, and I'm like, oh, okay. He's okay. He's not a bad champion. He hits decently hard, and none of his debuffs can be resisted, so, like, you don't need any accuracy for him. You can just build him as a nuker, and he's not bad. I don't think he's, like, arena worthy. I tried him. He doesn't hit very hard, but I feel like if you're going for, like, some sort of poison-based team, he's not bad. You can mix him with his epic dark counterpart, and, make some sort of comp. He's not a bad champion. He's just, I don't use him a lot. Sissy has got gear on, because like I said, I try to use her more often. Her gear kind of sucks, but she's there. She's on the list. just near the bottom. Like I said, she's Cardiel's partner, so I try to use her more, but mostly she's basically just used in normal faction wars and also, you know, her city stages. Garog doesn't have gear. I don't really like Garog. I had to use him for normal faction wars, but I don't really like him. He's okay, but I don't know. I just didn't really... I don't really like him. He's okay. I'm sure that he's solid, but I don't really like him. He's at 60 because one of my clanmates had recommended I use him as an arena nuker, but then I got Genbo. So, Manaya, I think I 60'd her for Faction Wars. She actually comes in clutch. She's not bad. She's not booked, but she's got an okay kit. She's not bad. I kind of like Manaya. Opardin, one of the best healers in the game, I think. I don't know if that's actually factual or not, but he is a really good healer. Apparently, he's good for Chimera. I use him mostly for Curse City stages. I did throw him in a Hydra team at one point. He's alright. The only thing with Hydra is if you're going to bring him, you have to be careful not to let the Hydra steal all his buffs. Like, he puts up a lot of continuous heals and stuff. And if they steal it, that's no good. Leminicy, I don't use her. Adeline, I don't use her. Skeletor, rarely use him. Did for a little bit of Faction War. Yanniga, I started going for her when I was a new account. Because I didn't have, like, any legendaries. And I convinced myself that she'd be better than nothing. Because, oh, legendary. You know, you make yourself think that legendaries are amazing. When, in reality, some of them are dookie water. I don't know if I would say she's dookie water, but she's not great. And I don't know, I convinced myself she'd be good, and I ended up getting her fragments from the clan shop, and then basically never using her. Santa, I never use. I booked him because I thought I was going to use him, and then I never used him. I'm sure he'll have a place at some point, whether it be Faction Wars or if I ever pull Lady Noelle. I know that the two of them together can be really good in the arena, like unresistible freezing and stuff. I did his chase. Never used him. Wasted my resources, but it's whatever. I don't use Noct. Only used her in normal Faction Wars. Same for him. Same for him. Biggin, I heard, is actually still, like, really good, but I never booked him and I never 60'd him, but at some point I might use him. I might need him for hard Faction Wars because of his control. Samson, I didn't really like. Ardor's okay. I think he's an okay free champion for what he does and everything, but I don't really need him. His heal is like it's like a baby Cardiel. I don't really need him. I have a second Elva. I didn't empower her right away because I wasn't sure if I wanted to build a second Elva for anything. So at the moment, I think she's just set for Faction Guardians. Scartosis. He's not a good champion. He helped me one time. One time he came in clutch for a Nether Spider when my account was like brand new because I pulled him pretty early. I went into Nether Spider, and you know they do their opening attack where they just poison the crap out of you. Used his A3, he completely cleansed me, and I was able to wipe up the Nether Spider. That's it. Don't know what this chick does, never used her. Something to do with Hex. Cleopteryx. Vitreous was one that I was considering trying at some point, but it's going to take a lot of resources to build him, and I watched a video of Ash using him, and honestly, like, he seems like he can do some work in the arena, but I feel like, why build this guy when I already have Genbo that does really good? Alsgore, I'm eventually going to build, I think, for the, Twins team. I have a bunch of Painkeepers, so I'm eventually going to build him for Twins, I think. And I've also considered using him for Chimera to get through the Ram. But I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I can't use him for both. That's the thing. Because if you do this, this will mess up the Twins. So if I want to use him for Chimera, I mean, I'm going to want to send him so I can put a banner and an amulet on. But if I send him, then I can't use him for twins. So I don't know what I'm using him for yet, but he's in there. Just recently got this guy. I think he probably can hit okay, but I'll probably never use him. Or her. Is it a dude? Is it a girl? What are you? You're a dude. Okay. I'll probably never use him. And he was someone's promo link at some point. Coalite also is a decent ignore nuker that I recently pulled. Might find use in Faction Wars, but currently not built. Astralon, never used him. Brohack, never used. Ghostborn, never used. And then I have a second Lysandra that's currently in Faction Guardians. So that's all my legendaries. I'm not going over every single epic, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. This video's already at like 30-something minutes. 35. And I still have to show you my actual like progress in the game. So I'm not gonna go over all of them. But, you know, I've got some really good ones in here like Seeker, Ugo, Farrakhan, Neldor, Husk, Geo. Like, obviously, you can see the ones that I've 60'd are some of the best. This is my Genbo's build for the arena. It's not terrible. I had to get him pretty fast to keep up with Arbiter. Even though his stats don't look right, he does still hit pretty hard. You know, I got some good ones in here. I do have an Aniri. I love Aniri. And I got her set up to do Sand Devil 25 with Newt. You know, we got Shamil, Cryodan, Urogrim. There's some really, really good ones in here. And then we have some ones that are not 60 that I haven't utilized yet, like Royal Guard. Ash loves him. I haven't used him. Pan the Bowhorn. Dirindil, I heard, can nuke pretty hard. There's some other hidden gems in here that I've just never used. Will I ever use them? I don't know. Maybe. A lot of them I'm keeping just for Faction Guardians. But that's pretty much that. My blues suck. I haven't kept enough blues. So, the only, like, decent one I have is I have a 6-star Frozen Banshee, but I never use her. Eris, I was going to use at some point. That's why she's 60. And I have one Painkeeper at 50. The other ones are not leveled up. They're over here. But I do have souls for them. I have, like, a 4 and a 3 on standby. You know, Coldheart, Elaine. Petrifia was one of my actual, like... She's booked fully because I was using her in Clan Boss, like, really early in the game, and she actually is not terrible. She does some good damage. But alright, let's get into my progress. I wanted to show off my champions, but let's get into progress. So, for dungeons, I can do stage 15 of any Iron Twins. 25 or 15 of any of the magic keeps, or, well, the potion keeps. I can do max level Labyrinth. For Ice Golem, I can do 10, but it's not 100%. Sometimes I still die, and it takes a very long time. But I was using Artak and Breeze. Breeze because I keep him in Form 1, and basically just have him bring down the enemy max HP, so that when the minions get revived, they're half health and easier to kill. Elva and Operdin is my healers. Spider, I can do 7 seconds, stage 20. Basically, Mikage, well, first up, Lydia opens with her debuffs. Then Mikage puts up the increased crit damage, which helps Newt do more. And then Newt goes in and just basically obliterates. And if he doesn't finish the spider, I've got Alice in here to finish up. And sometimes, as you can see, she doesn't even finish up. It can be a 7-second team. Or not 7 seconds, 7 turns. Not yet, it's not 7 seconds. I did have a 7-second. That was when I got lucky and Newt actually one-shot. He doesn't always do it, though. But for hard spider, I think I've done max stage. Yeah. I've done max stage. I basically just put pretty much the same team. But I'm going to probably change this at some point and make it like an AoE team instead that can nuke the babies, because that's like the quickest way to kill the hard spiders, to just nuke the babies. But I can do stage 10 of those. I can do stage 10 of Dragon, no problem. I think I have like a, yeah, like a 2-minute clear. I use Ninja and Breeze. They're great. I'm not sure why I wasn't using Newt. Fire Knight because I have Newt. Fire Knight's a joke. I have not pushed to 10 yet, though, but I'm sure it's very possible with Newt. Stage 7's blue, though, so I don't know if Newt can get through that. We'll have to see. And then Sand Devil, like I said, I did finally get to 25. This took me a while. I had to get the gear perfect for Aniri, because she has to be in regen and immortal and hit certain stat thresholds. But yes, the two of them can do it, which is amazing. And Phantom Shogun, I can also do 25. I use this team. It seems unordinary and unorthodox, but it works. So that's my dungeon stuff. And then Faction Wars, obviously, since I have Lydia, normal's done. This took me a while. I finished this like a month or two ago. Hard, I've barely made any progress in at all. Hard is, well, hard. But also, until Polera gets buffed, I just don't really care. I mean, I'm still going to try to make progress in it, but she's just not the best at the moment. She's okay, but Ash made the point of, like, you spend all this time unlocking her, and by the time you unlock her, you already have champions that can do what she can do, but probably better. Like, what's really the point in her? She's not good enough. Arena, I stay in Gold 5 all the time for Classic. Live, I just made the Silver 2. Tag, I'm in Silver 1. I just finished getting Direct Star. Clan Boss, like I said, Demon Lord, I finish Nightmare and Ultra every day. Hydra, like I said, my my personal best is 206 million. With my Chimera being Brutal 85, almost 86. You can see my max CVC, my max Demon Lord. Doom Tower, I clear hard and normal every month. And I can do most of the rooms. Some of them I struggle a little. I can't currently do 12. Just because these guys don't have good enough gear, and I've been too lazy to borrow gear from other people to make it happen. I definitely could, since regearing is free now, but I'm just being lazy with it. I almost have Thea done when it comes to Doom Tower rooms. For normal, I think the next one is Gwyneth. Yeah, I'm on Gwyneth for normal, and then for hard, I'm on Thea, and Thea's almost done. And I'm currently pocketing Drexstar, Gerda, and Donnie for the next PRCVC. And I'm in save mode for Leonardo. 12k energy, 3100 gems, 9 sacreds, and then what is this? 3 sacreds worth of primals, 2 voids worth of two voids worth of primal, 2 voids worth of sacreds, and 4 ancients worth of sacreds. I'm trying to save up because my clan members think that Leonardo, being a limited time champion but also a void legendary, is going to be like 25 to 30 sacred shards to get him. So I'm just in save mode, basically trying to get that the best that I can. So I'm saving up. What else is there? First city, I can pretty much complete normal. Usually there's a couple stages up here on this island that I can't do. This island's like the hardest, and usually there's a couple up here that I can't complete. It depends on the champions that I have. I probably won't be able to do this rotation based on just what I'm seeing, because like there's not a lot of multi-hitter options or freezing. So I probably won't be able to kill him that rotation, and just usually there's some like harder ones in here that I can't do. Like I remember there was a Taras wave in here somewhere. I don't know if the waves stay the same every rotation or if they change as well. I think they change as well, but last rotation there was a Taras wave in here somewhere. There's like 2 Tarases and a Marichka, and every time I hit the Marichka, the Tarases were just nuking me, and it was just bad. I couldn't do it. But I can usually clear normal pretty well. The first island, the second island, this island. Even cleared this one before, but then this one I usually struggle with. I have cleared Amius twice on normal, but I've yet to be able to do hard, and I'm currently locked on hard. Usually I can do almost all of the first island on hard. But then, like, getting into the second islands can be a real chore. This is the furthest I've honestly ever gotten on hard, because usually I'm stopped like right here on one of these stages, because it'll be some ridiculous rotation where it's just like 2 legendaries that I don't use that are at 50 and basically useless to me. But I got actually pretty far in this rotation. But then I looked at all these things. I can't do this. That's not happening. I can't do this. This is basically not happening. I mean, maybe if Biggin was 60 and Kale and Skullcrown were in better gear, maybe it would be possible. This one's also pretty bad. And then there's no way I'm taking down the Fire Knight. These options, like, it's just not happening. So that's where I kind of am in hard. I just can't really make much progress, but I'm trying my best to be able to get further in hard, because I'm really trying to save up a lot of merciless gear for, but basically Newt, Ninja. It'll be amazing for them with the ignore, the chance to reset, blah blah blah. And then nowhere near Carnage. I've done 1 Remnant summon. Got a Void Epic. Let's see, what else is there to talk about? Siege, we do, you know, every once in a while we win. I've got Lammasu. I think that's it. Really? Live Arena, I'm at... What did I say I was at? I showed you guys Live Arena. I'm Silver 2. I just hit it last night. So I don't have Quintus yet. But I'm about to get to Milestone 4, which... No, I did Milestone 4. I'm here. I'm on this one. 1560, right? Yeah, I'm on this one. 1560. So after I beat this one, then more Quintus becomes available. This will take me to 60. And then there's 80 and then 100. It's going to probably take me a while. I don't do a ton of Live Arena. I don't really like doing it. It takes a long time waiting and matching and everything, so I mainly don't do it. Oh yeah, Marius mission. I'll show you where I'm at for that, because I don't have Marius yet, but I'm getting close. Well, I don't know about close, but I'm almost halfway. But currently, I'm here, and the only reason I haven't done it is because, like I said, I'm in saving mode for Leonardo. But basically, I could do this no problem. I could do this no problem. This one I can do. It'll just take a little bit of time. Same for this one. That one's easy. That one's easy. Easy. All milestone rewards in a single event. That one should be easy enough, because I can do that with like a gear enhancement or something. This is easy. This will be easy. This will be easy. This will be easy. That'll be easy. This one might take a little bit of time, but it should be, since I can do hard dungeons, it shouldn't take too much. That'll be easy. This one will be easy since I get 30 silver per win, so I just need to win 4 times. Easy, easy. Easy. Done. A little time consuming, but pretty much easy. Done. This one shouldn't take too long either, because by the time I get here, I'll have a good chunk of souls saved up that I can sell. Easy. Okay, I thought that said 6-star soul. No, but purchase any 6 souls from the merchant. So that'll be easy, because I could just buy the blues for like 2 points or whatever. That's done. That'll be easy. That one should be easy, because it doesn't require you to spend gold. It just says spend any crest. This one will be easy, especially since they've got me farming greater oils back there in the past. So I can save those and do that. That'll be easy. That's done. That should be easy enough, I think, because once I'm done with the live arena missions, I'll have some zeal pieces. Just make sure I don't sell them by accident. This will be easy. This will be time consuming, but it should be doable. A lot of energy to burn, though. This one I have no idea, because I don't know where... D9? We'll go take a look. Then this one will be time consuming. This one's done. I'm glad this proactively completes. This will be easy. This one's done. That should be easy. That'll be time consuming. This one, depending on which tournament it is, should be doable. This one's RNG, and that'll be easy. So most of part 2 is easy, and then I know part 3 is when it gets a little crazy, but I think we'll definitely be able to do it. Let's go see real quick where stage D9 was for Cursini. Can you see? Yeah, you can see the stage numbers. D9 is... Oh no, it's one of these bosses, isn't it? Ah. It would be this hoe. I'm just gonna have to wait for a rotation that I can take him down on. Maybe one day I'll get lucky and like Mithrala will be an option. She's got a really good shield and she's really tanky, so she can just keep resisting the provokes. She can technically, if I put her in like regen gear, she could probably solo him, because she'll just keep poisoning him and cleansing herself and living and healing. And she could probably solo him. I know Eurogrim in decent gear can also do it. There's some options, but it's certainly going to be annoying. But possible. He's only a level 150, so should be possible. Ramontu? I've just basically started Ramontu, and I don't really care about it. It's mostly arena stuff, and I don't really care for arena that much. I mean, I do progress in it, because it is important to your account, especially classic, because you get the boosts. You get the boosts from the classic, and they help. And the Great Hall, stuff like this stuff matters. But I don't care about arena too much, and Ramontu is not anything to die for. I don't see people praising him like, oh, I gotta go get Ramontu right now. I mean, yeah, he's a good champion, but I don't think I really need him as much as I would like to have, like, Marius. Like, Marius, everybody knows he's insane. He's really good. Arbiter's done, of course. You guys know I have Arbiter. So, I mean, I guess that's kind of where my account is. You guys want to look at my indexes, see all the champions I have pulled. Black Knight went into Rathalos, Richtof went into Mikey. You know, I got most of the epics. There's a few I haven't got. A Thorian I'd like to have. My brother-in-law has him. I don't want him, but I don't really know. There's really no point in going through this index. You guys can already see what I have and what I don't have, but that's basically my account, and I'm just kind of curious what people think. I mean, this is after how many days? You can't really see past 271. I don't know how many days it's been, because it's been like a few months of this. I'd say I've got to be over 365, I think, because I said that I was playing since... When was Rathalos Chase? We can Google it. Rathalos Chase. Raid Shadow Legends. Rathalos Chase was... January and March of 2024. Okay. So I started playing basically right at the end of his chase. I was able to get him, but not get any souls for him or anything like that. Because usually with the chases, kind of like the Mikey chase, usually you can get the soul too. Seeing as how I only have a 2-star soul for him. Well, you know, actually, they may not have done the soul for Rathalos, if I remember correctly, because I remember they did like an event. They did one of the like Titan things. Because I remember getting far enough into it to get his 2-star. That's where I got it. That's where I got his 2-star. But, that's basically when I started playing. So, since it was right at the end, it was like, what, early March, right before the, anniversary. So we'll just say March 1st is when I started playing. We'll just say that. So, 2024 to 2025 is a year. And then we're into September now. So I've been playing for a year and a half, basically. So this is my progress after a year and a half. And I spent like, what did I say, like 1,700? So you guys let me know what you think. If you have any ideas of where I can improve, please let me know. I am open to suggestions as long as you keep it civil and you aren't like really rude. Don't be mean to me, bro, because I will cry. I try my best to play this game, and I don't know, that's really it. I'm trying, okay? I'm making good progress, I think. But you guys let me know what you think. Okay, bye!